So I used to scroll on my phone a lot, right? I'm talking about a shit ton. I remember times where I would be sitting in the car with my parents, and instead of talking to them like a normal human being, I would have been too busy scrolling on my little social media. And to make all of this seem crazy to you, to really show you how bad social media addictions are nowadays, an average American spends around 7 hours on this in front of a screen, right? You can literally Google this shit. An average screen time in America is around 7 hours. And when you add to those 7 hours, the 8 hours an average person usually sleeps, right? That's 15 hours. And when you take that away from your normal day, you're only left with 9 hours to actually fucking live your life. And the best part about all of this, right? In those 9 fucking hours, most people are gonna spend them either at work or school. Is this the lifestyle you want to fucking live? Is this genuinely the type of life do you want to live, my friend? Of course not, right? Of course fucking not. We have much higher ambitions, right? We have goals that we genuinely want to achieve, right? So of course we don't want to do the stuff that's gonna take us away from achieving those things, right? We don't want to do things that will move us away from achieving that goal instead of getting closer to it, right? So I really want I want this video to serve you as a wake-up call, my friend. I really need you to stop wasting all that fucking time on social media because it hurts me a lot too, right? I'm a YouTuber, right? Currently, my main focus is YouTube, but I spend a shit ton of time in front of the screen, right? To like work, record videos, edit videos, all of that shit, right? And the amount of times I randomly found myself scrolling on my phone just because I try to find an image in my gallery or it's like something like that, right? Or maybe I'm trying to find a clip on YouTube. The amount of times I'll find myself randomly scrolling on my phone, like the number's fucking immense, okay? You would be surprised to see just how much even people like me still scroll, right? And pretty much, all I'm gonna do in this video, right? I'm just gonna give you a couple of ways that I managed to take care of my social media addiction. Because before I was into YouTube and all that shit, my screen time was literally like 2 or 3 hours max. 3 hours on a really bad day, right? It was usually around like 2 hours. So I'm going to teach you the methods that I've used to completely get my screen time for like 6 to 7 hours on just scrolling to literally like 2 hours at least. Once you are like around 2 hours, you're fucking chilling. Unless you're doing some work in front of your screen, then I don't really count that as scrolling. But you get a general idea, right? Okay. The first thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes down to your productivity and your work, as soon as you start working, put the phone away. And I'm talking not on the same desk that you're gonna do your work. No. You can't be like that. You want to grab your fucking phone and yoink it to the other room, okay? You want your phone to be as far away from you as possible. Right? You don't want it to be in the same room as you're working because the temptation for you to grab the phone and start checking the notifications, it's going to be massive. And the closer the phone is going to be near you, the more it's going to distract you, really. So you don't even want to think about your phone whilst you're doing your work, right? So really just put it in another room. And if you really need to check the internet for something, use your computer, I guess, try to eliminate those little things that could possibly ruin your attention span, that could possibly drag your attention away from the thing that you're supposed to focus on, right? And I remember the first couple of times I tried it, I couldn't, especially with school, right? Every time I would try to study something for school, I pretty much couldn't, right? Because the phone was right next to me, and all I could think about while I was fucking doing my little work, right? All I could think about was just the video I watched a few hours ago. It was a fucking meme that I saw on the internet. So really put a lot of fucking emphasis on this. It's simple, really. Just grab your phone and put it in another room. Just get it as far away from you as you can. And there's a very select few of us who have to do their business work on their phones. So in these cases, we'll get to in a little bit how to actually optimize the phone itself to make sure you're not scrolling as much. But actually, let's get to it right now. Fuck it, there isn't much else to say when it comes down to there isn't much else to say when it comes down to putting your phone in the other room. That's a pretty straightforward thing. Let's talk about the second thing, because this is where some people will actually start to disagree with my advice. The next thing that I want you to do is learn how to control the apps that you spend the most time on. What most people will give you, the most common mainstream advice when it comes down to lowering your screen time, is to uninstall the apps that are bad for you. So uninstall TikTok, uninstall Instagram. You could do that. This is the catch, right? You could uninstall those apps if you wanted to. Feel free to do that. But the catch is that next time you're gonna be near those apps, because there's gonna be a point in time where you're gonna use TikTok again, even if you uninstall it, right? You still won't actually know how to control your addiction. This is so funny, right? Getting rid of the app doesn't actually solve the addiction. It's only like a temporary fix. Imagine a fat or an obese person, right, going on like one of these insane diets where, you know, they starve themselves for like a few days and they only drink water and shit, and at the end of the day they end up losing a shit ton of fat, right? These diets work, right? But as soon as they go back to their usual diet, it only takes them around 2 weeks to get back to like the way they originally started with, right? So this is another thing that you need to really focus on, right? Don't really uninstall the apps. The best way I would go about it is just set limits on your phone. You need to set limits. Like start off with a pretty big limit. So if you're spend around like 2 hours on TikTok, start with like 1 hour 45 minutes, and as long as you find that easy and you're able to sit on TikTok or whatever app without even like reaching the limit, that's when we can start like to progressively deload this. And like we're gonna talk about progressive deload in a little bit as well, because this video is gonna contradict a little bit, but we'll get to that part, right? As for now, you want to progressively like get rid of those apps and progressively like decrease the amount of hours you spend on them, and over time it's gonna do amazing results. There's gonna be a point in time where you'll spend so little time on these apps that if you were to uninstall them, you wouldn't even feel a difference. That's the thing that we're trying to get, right? You don't want to uninstall the app and then every day you will have thoughts whether if you should uninstall it back just because you want to do that one thing on the app, even though you know you're gonna still end up scrolling on it for a very long time. So really, the best way to go about it is to slowly deload. Now, moving on to the last thing that I wanted to talk about today, and this is where, sorry, my bad. This is where I said that it's gonna contradict a little bit, right? What I want you to do on the last step is we need to get rid of scrolling. Not the apps, you need to get rid of scrolling, my friend. And the way you do that is, no matter if you're using an iPhone or a Samsung, if you go into like your app store, you will find apps that are meant to purposely block off the scrolls. Not the whole app, right? But purposely the scrolls. The way it works is you can still use the whole app. So let's use YouTube for example, right? You can still use the entirety of YouTube. But every time you try to open a YouTube short, my friend, the app that you've just installed, right? The scrolling blocker, it's gonna kick you out of the scrolling and put you back in the main page of YouTube. If you really think about it, that's fucking huge, because you get to still work on YouTube whilst like not get distracted and, you know, still able to focus, right? But this is the catch, right? This is the thing. It doesn't actually get rid of the YouTube shorts. Like, you're still going to see them pop up on your YouTube page, but it's only as long as you click them that it yoinks you back to the main page, right? And this is so interesting, right? Because you would think it works the same way as I explained with the whole app. Like when you uninstall it, it's not a good thing because yada yada, I've already explained it, right? The difference is that those shorts are still going to be there on the YouTube page. So the temptation really, it's still going to be there, you know? As soon as you open up your YouTube page and you see those YouTube shorts, you're still gonna feel like you want to click on them. However, as soon as you will click on those like YouTube shorts, right, it's gonna yoink you back to the main page. So all you're really doing is you'll be conditioning yourself, subconsciously applying the belief that clicking on the shorts is bad. And within a matter of a couple of weeks, maybe a month, but for me it was a couple of weeks, you will stop clicking at YouTube shorts even when the ad blocker is not going to be there. Or sorry, the shorts blocker. Because you've subconsciously started to have not even the belief, you subconsciously started to associate clicking on YouTube shorts as a bad thing, right? So it happened to me, right? A very similar case, right? Where I started to use scroll blockers and they worked effectively, right? They worked very effectively. I stopped scrolling and it got to such a level where I would start doing YouTube things on my computer where I don't have the scroll blocker. And even there, when I'll be like looking for a clip to like edit the video, I wouldn't even click on the YouTube shorts. Like, think of how funny that is, right? I would look up on YouTube, I don't fucking know, something like a funny meme or some dumb shit like that. I would look up something that I would want to include in the video. And I wouldn't really find it in like the normal length videos, but I would see it in the first YouTube short to pop up. Very ironically, I wouldn't click on the YouTube short because I've already did the thing we've just talked about with the app, right? I've had this belief that I couldn't click on those shorts. And it took me like a couple of minutes to actually realize that, oh wait, I'm on computer, I can actually use this YouTube short. So this is a proof of how fucking effective that strategy is. And as I just said, I'm pretty sure you can understand it, right? It doesn't really contradict with what I said in the previous part, but yeah, as long as you're able to apply these 3 steps, over time, I promise you, your screen time is going to genuinely go down. It's going to slowly go down, but within a matter of a few months or weeks, you will see the difference. It's like starting with lifting, right? The first like 2 weeks you start lifting, you might not see like a drastic progress. You know, you're not going to suddenly drop from 2 hours within a matter of like no time. But slowly over time, as you look back like 3 months from now on, your screen time is going to be drastically lower. Drastically, my friend. So I really want you to remember this video and take this advice to heart, right? And if you want to hang around an amazing community of like-minded people who I myself help with this problem, join my Discord server. Join my Discord server, my friend. I have people there who have literally took from like 7 to like sometimes even 10 hours on their phone. I just realized the brother of mine from the Discord server, right? He would literally send screenshots of him having like 10 hours of screen time. And me and my community got him to only spend like 3 or 4 now. And really think of how big of a progress that is. Fucking 6 hours, right? And we did that together. Me and my community took care of this man, right? So if you want to be our next victim, that's what I fucking meant. You get the idea, right? If you wanna join my community whilst hanging around amazing fucking people who are all on self-improvement, and we are all striving to become the best versions of themselves, because we don't want to live this fucking average life, do we? We want far better than that, right? So if you want that and experience something truly beautiful, join us. Join us if you do whatever you think is right. I'm not even going to tell you to like subscribe, like, whatever. I'm not even going to tell you that, honestly. Do whatever you think is right. Give this video whatever you think it deserves. Yeah. If you wanna the fucking muscle memory for promoting my shit is really getting to my head. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for this video. See ya.